we are confronted with nature's wealth all over the world, in countless ecosystems and many forms, on land, in the water, in the desert, and in the forest. But how can the value of nature be established? To answer this question, Germany initiated the UN survey, The Economics of Ecosystems and Biodiversity, TEEB for short. It establishes the economic costs resulting from the loss and destruction of ecosystems. Conserving biodiversity, and hence the production of natural goods and services, is thus given a very tangible economic dimension. Who are the beneficiaries of these services? Very different people addressed these issues in May 2010. From interested laypersons through natural scientists to politicians. The framework was formed by a joint project of the German Federal Environment and Development Ministries together with the reportage magazine Geo. The International Day for Biological Diversity took place simultaneously in 38 countries worldwide. The leitmotif was Biodiversity for Development. On the occasion of the Year of Biological Diversity 2010, the initiators wanted to make the value of nature comprehensible to everybody. Nature's diversity was reflected in the multitude of global actions. Snorkeling in the Philippines, excursions in the town park in Zagreb in Croatia, or an event on the grounds of a school in South Africa. What was especially attractive here was the field of tension in the actions between day and night, water and earth, valleys and mountains, and towns and the countryside. A small group would keep their balance on difficult terrain, while many interested people would gather in a recreational area close to a town. The idea was to find as many animal and plant species as possible. The participants were supported by scientists. They learned how to determine the species, recognize contexts, and thus understood the characteristics of the respective ecosystem. And sometimes the loss of a species became a sad certainty. Thanks to this immediate encounter with nature, the participants had major learning experiences and gained lasting insights. However, this kind of biomonitoring is just one of the fascinating elements featured in a day of action. Several countries organized supplementary events to make the day even more attractive for the public. For example, in Kenya, leading experts on biodiversity from all over the world planted trees. And many countries, such as Namibia or India, organized discussion forums with experts and politicians. Much consideration was also given to the location of the actions. For example, in Lithuania, where a former military no-go area was examined. Or in Kenya, on the edge of a poor district. But how does all this interrelate? The mosaic of the action days at 38 places shows that the value of nature has several dimensions. Ecosystems are the basis of our life. They secure our food. Plants grow on their ground, and fish live in their water. Owing to non-sustainable fishing practices, the global fisheries industry loses $50 billion a year. In contrast, the benefits people draw from the existence of intact coral reefs every year has been put at $172 billion. Agriculture depends on bees and other insects as pollinators. Worldwide, this service is worth more than 150 billion euros. Biodiversity provides clean water and the air to breathe. It supplies building material and energy. Even medicinal plants grow naturally. Take Indonesia, for example. People there have to rely directly on nature's pharmacy. Biodiversity has a balancing function as well. It regulates water levels and the quality of rivers in Croatia and elsewhere. Forests play a very special role in maintaining the balance of nature. For example, the Mooswald near Freiburg, the scene of the German Action Day, provides services worth more than 22 million euros. This sum results from adding the values of carbon dioxide storage and water filtration and its recreational value. These ecological instruments are there to measure this rating precisely. This doesn't mean we are automatically putting things one-to-one on the same level as we would in valuing other things in euros and cents. Rather, it helps us by integrating this rating in our decision-making process. A question to think about. What would a visit to the forest be worth for the guests? I could imagine 5 euros if all others joined in. I would imagine 2 euros. Well, I really don't know, but I think it would be 20 euros. Many people depend directly on the forest's services. For example, the annual economic performance of intact mangrove forests is more than 2,000 euro per hectare, much more than could ever be achieved by logging them. In order to counter the threat the forest is facing, a school in Ecuador cultivates traditionally used plants and plants them out later. Also, nature has always borne an inestimable cultural and spiritual significance for people. This special role needs to be included in the valuation of the various ecosystems as well. This can already be seen if you take the prehistoric cliff paintings in Namibia. Or in India, where there is a lake that the people worship because it is supposed to be able to fulfill wishes. And in Indonesia, traditions and rituals of the indigenous population are handed down to school children. Nature is also a nearby recreational area and a holiday destination. In Austria, 3,000 people took part in the Day for Biological Diversity and experienced the value of intact ecosystems in 6 national parks. Only when all people have understood what very concrete benefits functional ecosystems can offer them and their families will the process of change in thinking start. Only then will change become possible, also in politics. The action days in all these different places present a new global view of nature. It is not merely pretty scenery. Nature provides vital prerequisites to all of us. It is our life. The economic, social, and cultural significance of nature cannot be rated highly enough. Every investment in the protection of an ecosystem, whether it be small or large, will yield a multiple of value added.